and welcome to the InGeneral podcast. My name's Jack and I'm joined with Jennifer and Josh. Hey guys.
Hey.
Otherwise known as Jennifer Lynn and Newblast7 on Twitter, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing?
We're great. How are you?
Good.
Not too bad, thank you. Not too bad. So, if people don't know, Jen and Josh, I was at the wedding last year. It was an incredible time.
You're in the wedding. You were in it. That's a
I
whole
was
other
in
level.
the wedding.
Groomsman.
That was a really, really awesome trip that in Pittsburgh and everywhere we saw. But you guys got married. That's
know.
crazy.
Yeah,
I know. We're so glad that you're able to make it, though, because we were even talking, if the wedding was this year in June, there's no way anything would have happened the way that it did. So we're just so grateful that happened last year.
Yeah, and it was such an experience as well. So thank you for having me. But yeah, even bigger news, you guys now have a little baby boy.
So many things happened. Yeah, we have a new Jurassic fan. His name is Wyatt, and he's right here. So if you hear anything, that's him, because we're both on the podcast, so we both have to have him in the middle so we can watch him. But yeah, he's fine. So if you hear any noises, that's just him chiming in.
Playing his part. Already a Jurassic fan. New Block 8, right?
Yep,
that's what we were calling him.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were calling him.
Oh, that's sweet. Well, I hope you guys are okay, well rested, and well, obviously that's not a thing. But I hope you guys are, staying safe out there. How is it, by the way, where you guys are living? With the whole COVID-19.
It's a little weird.
It is weird because half the state, because I'm originally from Western PA, and right now we live middle to Eastern PA, and my parents out in Western PA, they're better. I think they're okay. All of Western PA has less cases than maybe even a couple counties out here. So it's really a split state. I think where we are right now,
We're in one of the worst counties.
Yeah, it keeps going up. We're in Lancaster County right here by Hershey, kinda, and that on the north side of that. And it's getting worse by the day, but yet Western PA is getting better by the day. So it's a weird split state right now. In Pennsylvania, we're in Pennsylvania, by the way.
Yeah, that's
people
really
don't
strange.
know. Yeah.
It is strange. It's weird how it's affecting everything, and obviously, I think. So I'm on an island right now. I was supposed to be somewhere. I was supposed to have emigrated by now, but being on an island, I thought we would really limit how much it would spread here. But it's been climbing. It's been climbing.
I was wondering how it is with you, because you're more. Because even with Hawaii, we look at Hawaii, and you're like, how did it get there? And yet it's there too. It's everywhere.
Yeah. That's the thing. I think the incubation period, so it can be so long. I think up to 29 days without showing any symptoms. So people could have been carrying it for so long before, which is such a weird thought.
You just never know when it's going to end, though, and when it's going to change, because we're Disney folk as well. So we're looking at Disney World, because we have a trip in October. It's supposed to be Wyatt's first trip in October, and right now that looks okay, but every month that goes by, they keep maybe August, maybe July, they keep extending it, so we don't even know. We thought we were safe in October, but now we're not sure.
Oh no.
A couple years.
Yeah, they're talking years now, social distancing for a couple years just to be safe, and I don't know. This is getting crazy.
It's getting weird, isn't it? I think it's going to be a while before things go back to normal, but hopefully things start opening up again. Travel as well. Hopefully that can kind of
and then
come back, but it'll never be the same.
And then to bring it back to where we are with the podcast, then Jurassic stopped filming. So that's a whole thing of when do they come back, and when is it safe for filming to keep going, and all of that too.
Yeah, and how long that delay is going to be. So what are you guys? What is your gut saying? Also, I think I just heard.
Yeah, he just squeaked.
He squeaked.
Chiming in.
Yeah, he has an opinion. He's like, it needs to come out now. I don't know. See, me and Brad get a lot of questions about this on the mailbag, and we get asked, and our answers change every month because things are changing every month. But I would say, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Do you have an opinion, Josh, of when it's gonna? When you think if they'll hold back the release, or when they're gonna start?
I think they'll hold back the release probably a whole year.
A whole year.
I'm hoping maybe sometime this summer, maybe they would get back to it, but I don't know. It's just it could be tough even to get back before August.
Our concern is that that Isabella is going to grow rapidly, and they already filmed.
Yeah, I raised the same point in the last episode.
Yeah.
It's genuine. I mean, they have filmed with her in Canada, so whatever they film, if it is 6 months or even a year before they get back to filming, she may look different.
She might, yeah.
You know what me and Brad said, that they're going to throw in a thing in the script about rapid growth in her cloning.
It's the only way. It is strange though, and it's kind of sad as well. I mean, good. It's probably for the best that they were only a week or two into filming, but it's just it knocks everything because everybody was like full steam ahead.
Yeah, I
It
know.
must be so strange.
It also brings up the point of, will they just scrap what they filmed and just kind of start over whenever they go back? Because their sets, I guess, are getting old and weird, and I don't know.
Yeah, and the ones at Pinewood, I think, were sort of half constructed, some of them anyway, because there were those pictures, aerial shots released.
Right, yeah.
Just sort of abandoned sets. So, who knows what state they'll have to pick back up in. They might just start from fresh. It, again, depends how long it's going to be, but hopefully we'll get some form of announcement from Universal, because it makes sense to be delayed, even if they just 6-month delay it for now or something, give it a December release.
So
Would you guys be alright with a December release?
I was just going to ask that. Like, what do you think about a summer versus winter release? Because that's a new thing for Jurassic.
I don't know. For me, I want a summer release.
Yeah, that's kind of what they do.
I would hate to wait a whole another year, but I kind of want that June release.
You know what's really sad, though? Because they missed their June 11th date as well.
Which is the exact same release as the first one.
And that was so poetic. And now they're going to absolutely miss that, most likely.
Yeah, unless it's a year. They could do June 11th, 2022.
Oh, well,
that would be a Saturday, I think.
is that when? Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm like in my calendar
I'm
right
not
now
sure
trying to
when
get there. June 2022, 10th. Yeah, Saturday is the 11th.
They could do the 10th.
Leap year is just not helping us either because we're not going to get it in. So, yeah, I guess they could do June 10th, but that's sad to miss that 11th day.
Yeah. It's a weird time. How stoked are you for Jurassic World 3?
It's
I was
hard
starting to get
say.
more excited once they started filming, but then right now I try not to think of it just because I get depressed.
It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that we didn't just say so excited. Like that wasn't our initial reaction.
I guess it's a bit of a weird time, hey?
Like I was a little Fallen Kingdom, I was so beyond deadly excited, like beyond all reason and counting the seconds. But after Fallen Kingdom, it kind of let the air out of the balloon for me a little. So now I'm a little more apprehensive of what we're gonna get. So I'm more like that at this moment. I don't know.
Yeah. Because what did you think for some of the that one screenshot that Colin put up? Obviously, it's hard to tell exactly where that is or what that kind of represents. The shot of Maisie on the bike, I think, or walking with the bike. Yeah, what do you kind of make of that?
Well, it's cool that there's snow. Apparently, we're hearing there's snow, and I guess I don't know if there's snow in that picture, or I'm hearing about snow somewhere. So that's a neat thing, because I know something Brad and I always talk about is different climates, and if we're getting off the island, it's really cool to see different climates for once, and different kinds of, like, dinosaurs in snow, which would be really cool. So that I took from it. That kind of gives it a different feel, and that kind of is exciting, but it's so hard to tell off of one little picture that's so small, and he couldn't have zoomed in on his computer or anything, so he could barely make it out.
Yeah. What do you make of the name as well, Dominion? Because there was that whole debate on what the name was going to be.
Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry, I keep talking over Josh.
No, go ahead. Well, Wyatt's not talking too.
He is talking. He has an opinion. So whenever, when it was New Era and all those people were jumping on the New Era and there was articles about New Era, my thing was, I just felt, whatever the title was, I just felt bad that if it was a New Era, that it was exposed and there was no reaction. It's like it was spoiled for everyone. And then if they were going to announce it as New Era, it's just like anticlimactic. So I was actually excited that it wasn't New Era for that reason, just because I'd hate for them to have a title reveal and then for it to be guessed and then ruined. So I like that it came out of left field, because Fallen Kingdom came out of left field as well. No one knew it would be Fallen Kingdom, and I don't think anyone really knew about Dominion either. Although I was calling it Domination for like the first day until
and then we had a whole debate of how you pronounced it. Because I was saying Dominion, you were saying what?
Dominion. But see, Josh came home and he was like, "Oh, what do you think of the title?" I'm like, I like it, Domination. He's like, "Wait, what?" The whole day I thought it was Domination, and I couldn't even spell Dominion in tweets. Like, it took me a minute to adjust. But
Domination is a strong title.
I liked it
really
better, I think. Yeah.
I think I kind of preferred New Era to Dominion at first, but Dominion's grown on me.
Yeah, I don't know if I love it. I liked my initial Domination a little better. And
yeah.
A New Era I liked better, but then again, I didn't want they're surprised to be like ruined their announcement. So I'm glad that happened. But it's all right. I mean, it's growing on me. I guess it makes sense for what the movie's gonna be, but it's growing. I just gotta learn how to spell it correctly. It's so bad.
Right, yeah. It was cool to see the original colors back on the film slate.
Yeah, absolutely. That was my favorite part of the whole thing.
And then
That
like
was a tease.
the new little posters that are coming out, I don't even know if they're official. The one on Amblin, I guess, is kind of the same colors. So that's
Yeah,
cool.
that was
the black
nice. Just the Rex in the circle. That was cool.
Yeah, it's good
Kind
to
of a
see
throwback. It's going to be weird to see the three of them on screen again. I think that's a huge thing. We didn't even mention that in the last podcast. The three original cast are back
Oh my goodness.
in this one.
That's exciting.
We've been. I'm sorry, Josh.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
no,
I'm such a podcaster. Go ahead. Please
No, I
stop.
know.
What are you saying? Have an
no.
opinion. Go ahead.
Oh, with the three, my biggest just concern is just how big of a role they actually are going to have. I know Colin said that they're going to have substantial roles, but I just hope it's not another Ian Malcolm Fallen Kingdom kind of cameo. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I'm kind of in line with you there. I worry about it because Malcolm in Fallen Kingdom for me could have been anyone. It didn't need to be Malcolm at that point. It could have been a scientist that worked on the original Jurassic Park. They didn't say much. He didn't do much. I don't know. I really hope that they utilize the three of them, and I hope there's some serious like on-screen chemistry. I mean, you just want to see that dynamic again between the three of them, you know?
You know what we're thinking about, Brad and I, whenever we get these questions for the mailbag, is will they be like villains in a way? And not villains in a Mills sense, but just foils for like our original Claire and Owens, because we're thinking that they're gonna be completely against what Claire and Owen are gonna be for, and so in a way they'll be villains against what they're doing. But then it's good. I think it'll be an interesting dynamic because you'll understand both sides and you won't really know where to fall, but yet they'll be opposing ends together. So I think that'll be really neat if that happens.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, actually. There's kind of the same in The Lost World, right? With Roland. He's technically the villain, but he's not a villain, and majority of people would agree with him by the end of it, like, this is crazy. You know,
Yeah.
I've had enough time with this company kind of thing. I guess, yeah, that kind of conflict would be good instead of just cut and dry villain.
Yeah, because then you wouldn't really need a villain in a sense. Because I know when Mills died in Fallen Kingdom, spoiler if you haven't seen that, you should have by now if you're listening to this. But I know that a lot of people, me included, liked him and sad that he didn't carry through. But maybe the long-term view was just to have like Wu as an offset villain and then have the original three come in as like protagonists and stuff. So it was much bigger plan with them than just having like a Mills type villain. So if that's the case, then I won't mourn the loss of Mills, because I did like him. I don't know how popular he was, but I enjoyed him a lot.
Yeah, I enjoyed him too. I found it strange how they had him playing an American though. He was American in Fallen Kingdom, right?
Yeah. I didn't know he was an American, so that's news.
No, he's British. That's what I don't
yeah.
get. Rafe Spall's British, and they had him tending to a British character playing an American. I never understood that. I thought it would make more sense if he was British too.
He has a good American accent then.
Yeah, he
Told me.
really does. No, he was cool. What about Dr. Wu though? How do you think he's going to play into it? Because I kind of, at this point, I have no idea what he's going to be up to.
Yeah, I don't know what he would be.
I'm kind of over him, actually. I don't know. He's just been like the same kind of guy.
He's never really been a villain, and it just feels like they're trying to make him a villain.
He's just been there. Yeah, it's like they can get him back and stuff. And they're like, look at this Easter egg. And then it kind of evolved. It almost seems like they didn't plant him to be in it. It just kind of happened. And then they kind of wrote him in. And now he's like this huge character, this huge villain. And I'm not buying it. So he'll probably die. And I'm fine with it.
You think he'll die?
I do. I don't know.
Wu?
You know, another thing that people bring up on the mailbag is that one of the original three will die. And I know Brad and I always talk about Grant dying because that would have the most emotional impact for everybody watching. And no one wants him to die, but that's what would be so great about it, because it would just rip your soul out in the best way. You
think it would be great?
I do, because you know what? I mean, what I was saying before was that at the end of the day, we just have these three movies, this trilogy here, and I don't see the original three coming back for anything else. And keeping them alive or keeping them safe is just the safe way to go about the movie. And by killing one of them off, you have the DVD set. You'll have that forever. And then it'll just have this emotional response. Like preserving them or saving them won't have the same emotional response as it would be doing something drastic. So I wanted them to go not the safe route. So yeah, I do think it would be a really brave and cool choice to do that.
It would be interesting for sure, but you got to ask why. Like, what situation would they have to be in to die?
Yeah, I know. I mean, it could happen. I don't know though.
Some sort of heroic.
Because I guess at this point they're definitely not going to the islands again.
Right,
I mean, the
right.
film probably will, but I mean, those characters are not setting their foot anywhere near Nublar or
Right.
Sorna.
I am really excited, since we didn't get it in Fallen Kingdom with Malcolm actually interacting with anyone, I am really excited if they kind of reference Jurassic World Park, like if they somehow explain their thoughts on it, because we missed all of that. We haven't, and we know that they've been alive and around in the universe when all this happened, and it would be just nice to have a reference of their thoughts or their opinions, or them even just mention them being aware that the park was a thing. Because I feel like we missed out on that this whole time.
Yeah, it's at least a direct conversation. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that when me and Chris spoke with somebody who had read an early Fallen Kingdom draft, when Malcolm played a much bigger role and that he was more on the ship, or one of the ships, he described to us a scene that was Malcolm and Claire having a little bit of an argument where Malcolm kind of saying,
man.
"Why are you doing this?" And I think that's why I was so disappointed in the end when there was it 5 minutes of screen time for Malcolm?
Yeah.
I just missed having this whole interaction where he would be like, "What are you doing? Like, why?"
That is so. I didn't even know that was a thing, but I want that. Yeah, I definitely wanted that, and I think I agree with you about the disappointments of his character in Fallen Kingdom, because that was just a missed boat. Like, I don't know why they didn't put them in the same room and have that discussion or have that argument. And I guess that's what I'm hoping for this movie here, that they bring that in, even if it's how many years late, because it's happened so long ago already. Yeah. But I just want that. I really do. I want that reference and that dialogue. So.
Yeah, and obviously there would be some, after the initial kind of conversations, there would be some shared understanding between Grant and Owen. Especially Grant would probably really be interested to know more about his work with the Raptors too.
No, you know, it'd be really funny if he was like, "Weren't you that little boy years ago?" And then he could be like, "No, but I get that all the time," or something like that. Would be funny.
There was that theory, wasn't there, that it was him?
Yeah, I guess
swear I read that.
That's been disproved by now, I guess, but...
So, Jen, you run the Bryce Dallas Howard Network and have done for how long have you run that? Quite a while now.
I think we're about 5.5 years. It launched the day after my birthday, September 9th of 2015. So we're almost, what is that? I can't count. We'll just go from 2015 to now of September.
4.5.
So 4.5. Is it really? I said like almost 6. Wow. Okay, so it feels a lot longer than it.
Yeah, it always does, Jen.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing that.
But so, and it wasn't too long ago that you opened the Jurassic Vault, which I've been glued to, especially the past couple of days.
Well, you know what's crazy? I think it has been a while since we did the Vault, because I remember having a goal that I wanted to open it before Fallen Kingdom came out. Like, I wanted to finish it before Fallen Kingdom came out,
Has it been too? No, wasn't it last
March 13th. I think I started it. I think I honestly started it. Started collecting things for it before or around Fallen Kingdom.
And then it was March April
13th. It says on
2019,
the
right?
Twitter. Yeah, March of 2019. So
last year.
Almost a year later is when I actually launched it, because it's a lot in there, so I had to collect for a while.
Yeah,
but
there's some seriously great stuff in here, and honestly, what we've been looking at recently, the Lost World behind the scenes stuff. Wow.
Oh yeah, I just posted. You know what sparked the Vault was with my, like you said, with my Bryce Dallas Howard Network, I have logins to like a lot of like Getty and Shutterstock and stuff like that for her promotional pictures and stuff, and I just noticed that there's so many high quality stills and everything from Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, Lost World, Jurassic 3, all of it. This just archived in Getty and Shutterstock and just SIPA and like multiple agencies, and they're just sitting there, and I had logins anyway, and I've been getting pictures anyway, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna put together something with just these stills. That's where it started. Just these stills. I'm just going to take from the websites, put them up, and just have them for people to have. Like, I wasn't going to go crazy with it, but I can't just do anything like simply. So I'm like, well, you know what? I'll just search some more, and look at this. Here's some pictures here, and I'll just somehow I created an archive, and it's a work in progress still, but somehow that happened. Just from having a lot.
It was so worth it, though. Honestly, thank you for all of it, because there's so many pictures here that, as like hardcore fans as we all are, you think you would have seen them. And I'm seeing stuff in the Lost World folder. I'm like, I have never seen that before. All these behind the scenes. So yeah, seriously, thank you for that. And it's a great piece of work.
Thanks. That makes me so happy to hear, because when I see them, I don't really know exactly what you see and what people see. And I figure Josh is a good representation of the fandom, kind of, because he's been around forever with this fandom. And so if he hasn't seen it, I consider it pretty unique. And so there's a couple even that he's like, this is new, or I haven't seen this angle, like it's close but it's not the exact. And just hearing stuff like that makes it kind of worthwhile, because in my mind they're accessible. They're just online. I'm just collecting them. That's it. Like, anyone could find these pictures anywhere except the high quality stills that I'm getting through logins. But other than that, anyone could find any of those behind the scenes pictures anywhere online. It's just a matter of me putting them together in one place.
Yeah, and it's a perfect way to do it. So JurassicVault.com is seriously the place to go. I'm just flicking through the Lost World storyboards. How do you obtain these the same way, the storyboards?
They're all online. They're literally just from going through pages and old websites, and there's a lot of old websites that are just kind of dead, and you just find them, and they have those gems on there, like a lot of magazine scans and stuff, because there are some scans in the Jurassic Park stills, I think, or a lot of just old scans that are stills that never really came out digitally, but they're in magazines and just articles that people put up years ago on these old websites that are just, they don't even load correctly. But I get everything on there and then just put them in a giant folder, and then eventually I sort through that folder. I do a duplicator on it just to make sure I don't have duplicates, and it's a long process to like complete an album without having. And
considering everything you do with Bryce Dallas Howard Network, I was surprised when you told me about this. All the work that is involved.
Yeah, it's a lot more than just uploading, because honestly, a lot of care goes into each album, because it's not just collecting online, throwing them in an album and saying, here you go. I actually make sure I don't have duplicates. I check for quality. I if I have multiple, make sure I put the best one up, and that's actually a lot of the process, because a lot of times I'll send them to Josh and I'm like, well, which one do you like, A or B, 1 or 2, like which one's better? Because some are better coloring, some are better quality, some are worse quality but better coloring than the actual. So it's like a whole process of which one would be the best one to put up. So a lot of love and care goes into every album for sure. Yeah,
and you can tell. The only thing I can see from here is that you guys clearly aren't Jurassic Park 3 fans, because there are zero files.
I have them for sure on my hard drive right now. I just got to sort. I got to do that process. Like, I got to sort through them, but I have multiple folders of just Jurassic Park 3 thrown up inside the folder.
Yes,
I just have to.
Assis.
I know. I think about him. Yeah. But, I was trying to go in order because I wanted to put Jurassic Park out and then all of Lost World out. And then people were wanting Fallen Kingdom caps, so I kind of skipped ahead and did that. And right now we're working on the Lost World caps, which I know everybody wants. The 4Ks, because we only do 4Ks.
Yes. So you're doing the 4K caps of Lost World, yeah?
Yeah, I have... To
right
put
now.
You in perspective, I did...
Yes.
I normally don't do auto capture. I like to go frame by frame and get the best non-blurry version, but I mean, my pain on the Lost World, so going frame by frame has been a struggle. So to get them out, I've done an auto capture and done every 10 frames, because I do want to get, for the dinosaur scenes, I want to get the best possible frames, and I don't want to jump past them. If I started doing a 15 every 15th frame, but it seemed like I was in the compy scene at the beginning, I was missing a couple really good ones. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do 10 every 10 frame, I'm going to auto cap, and that gave me 10,600 caps for the entire film. So we're going to go through all of that and hopefully get it down to maybe 900 or 1,000 of the best ones.
Well, it's all going to be the best, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
I don't know. I mean, there's every 10 frame. I don't think you need every possible movement that everybody makes. So we're working on getting that down to a reasonable number.
So what did you guys think of the 4K releases?
Well, I could tell you from a capping perspective, Fallen Kingdom's 4K and Jurassic World's 4K was vastly, vastly different. Fallen Kingdoms was so sharp and so clean and a little dark actually, but really sharp and clean. And then when I did Jurassic World's 4K, very grainy, and a whole different type of cap, which I don't know if I realized watching them, but when capping them, they require like different settings and stuff because they're very
That's
different.
strange. Yeah, maybe that's got something to do with the way they transferred it. Or...
Yeah, and
That's really bizarre.
You know what? Whenever I did do the Jurassic World, I actually downloaded a different video because I thought something was wrong with the 4K copy I had, but every 4K was grainier. I mean, it's not ridiculously grainy. It's fine, but going from Fallen Kingdom to Jurassic World, it was noticeably grainier. But then you just get used to it after you start looking and capping. But comparing, it's pretty different.
Well, it might be different when you guys, or when you go through Jurassic Park 3, but I noticed when I got the 4K release of the first 3 movies, Jurassic Park was pristine. Lost World, even better. I loved seeing how the original dark film look that it has. It was brilliant to see. Jurassic Park 3 was it was muddy. It was like it hadn't been transferred properly or something, and it was a real letdown.
I haven't done 3, but from what I see with The Lost World, it is more comparable to Fallen Kingdom. It's pretty clear. It's not grainy like Jurassic World is, so...
Yeah. It's a lot darker as well, I found, than any of the home releases we've had before.
It is, yeah. And you know what I've been doing with that? Because I know people have different reasons for wanting caps. They want to post them on Twitter and have them be beautiful and pretty and, like, post a beautiful cap. And then some people want the true version, so... What I did with Fallen Kingdom, I think I did it with Jurassic World, I don't remember, but with Fallen Kingdom specifically, and even on the Bryce Dallas Howard Network where I put just Bryce's caps up, it is dark. Fallen Kingdom is dark. And so I put up the raw cap of what they come out as, and then I also put up a digitally enhanced, which kind of brings out the hues and the light better, so you could see the T-Rex. Because, like, in the first scene there with the water and all of that, it's so dark. You can't even see the T-Rex, like, roaring at the helicopter. You can't see anything. But whenever you use the enhancements on it, it really pulls out that image, and you have a really great image to post. So I kind of put up both choices for people if they want the raw dark image just for whatever purpose, or they can just take a really nice digitally enhanced one and use that as well. So I'm probably going to do that with Lost World because it is dark as well.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's even more work for you, Jen, but it pays off. I'm looking at these screenshots now. So what do you add? Is it just boosting contrast, saturation? Bringing the highlights?
What do I do actually? Because I use a batch photo editor and... Let's see, batch editor.
It's really brought out the Rex when it's roaring.
Exactly.
In that opening scene, really
Exactly. Yeah, what do? I use some filters, like I do auto levels, a lot of contrast, some brighten, deepen, just try to getting that contrast out and brightening making it pop and just making it look like, I don't know, like a magazine cover or like a really great, like every image is trying to be an epic image, like the image that you want to see and the image you want in a tweet and stuff like that. So and it's hard to make the entire movie fit to one filter as well, but I try to do, I mean, there's a couple here and there that maybe get their own filter depending, but for the most part I try to get a universal filter for that whole movie, and that's the easiest part. Honestly, the hardest part is going through frame by frame and getting to a reasonable amount of caps and uploading like a reasonable amount of caps. That's the hardest part. Once I do that, editing the filters and that is no problem.
Yeah, I guess you get to a point where it's like, enough is enough. This is enough screen caps from this movie.
Yeah, I mean, you don't, and I know everyone's like, well, we want to see every single detail, but I'm thinking, yeah, but you also don't want to scroll through 300 pages on the website. So it has to be a nice balance, and finding the balance of, if you're looking for a certain cap, making sure that everything that you'd want to look for is available, but then not having redundant caps. So it's a balance of figuring out exactly what to keep and what not to, but I try to put like a good amount up there without being ridiculous.
Yeah, just going through the Fallen Kingdom ones, I think you've got pretty much the right, you've got it at the right segments for almost for each shot, you know.
Yeah.
Like just in the opening scene, the upside down, when the Jurassic World maintenance cars like flipped upside down, and then the Rex footprint comes
Right.
in.
I try to do every bit, yeah, but not a ridiculous amount, but like every kind of shot like that you want to have. But I do have one regret I do have for Jurassic World that Josh brings up, because Josh does the tweets for the vault. He does all the tweets. He takes everything and comes up with a tweet every single day. Even the day Wyatt was born, he put out a tweet. So it's ridiculous. He does every single day. Every day. He's never missed a day for the tweets, which is amazing. But sometimes for Jurassic World, I wasn't sure that was the first one I capped, so I wasn't sure what people wanted. And so I just kind of focused on scenery, establishing shots, dinosaurs, stuff like that, and maybe one picture per person. I think I have like one Lowry cap, and that's it, if that. And after doing that, I realized Josh was like, oh, I wish you had more people. I wish you had more of this. So with Fallen Kingdom, I did more of everything because I just wasn't sure what people wanted. So it's a learning process.
For sure. No, it looks so good. You know, it's really making me want to watch that opening scene again.
It's so
the opening
good,
scene
though.
from Fallen Kingdom is so good.
It's so good. It's so good. Like when the T-Rex is when the lightning flashes and he's behind him, like that's fun to cap because you could literally go frame by frame and see nothing, and then there he is, and then it's just the whole thing. That was fun. That was a fun one.
Yeah, I just remember watching it in LA when we got to see that opening 15 minutes and just being blown away, thinking this movie's going to destroy us.
Yeah,
it's going to be so good.
It's kind of mean that they did that because the whole movie, nothing holds up to that original opening scene. It's just amazing and ridiculous in every way. And then when you get to the rest of the movie, you're like, well, it's good, but that opening scene was just so good.
And the opening scene is so extreme as well. You got a mosasaur jumping out the water. You got a T-Rex pulling on a helicopter. It's ridiculous, but it fits and it works so well in the opening scene.
You have the play of the light so good, and then the sound and the suspense, and then you have just the build. It's everything. It's perfect, that scene.
Yeah, it really is. Man. And then it's the courtroom scene.
Yeah, I know. And then you go to DPG, and I don't know. That opening scene is great, though.
It just loses a bit of momentum, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's like two different movies. It is like a whole opening thing, and then it's like, oh, we're going back here, but we never actually get back to what that opening scene did, what it captured.
Yeah, pretty much, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh, well.
But yeah, oh no, it's just exciting to go through this. Battle at Big Rock as well was on here.
Oh,
What do you
yeah.
guys make of Battle at Big Rock? Do you guys like that?
I did like that. I
Yeah,
thought
we
that was
liked
really
that.
good.
It was good, and it's exciting because you don't know if that's where they're gonna go with the movie, or it was just like a teaser or an intro, or what kind of the tone and the whole thing. So, but yeah, we liked that. That was really good.
Yeah, I had a good time with it. I was said on the last episode actually, I was really gutted I couldn't see that in cinemas as was originally intended.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It was supposed to be.
It's supposed to be with Fast and Furious, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would have looked so good on the big screen.
I know. See,
Yeah.
that's another one that when I capped that one, it wasn't in super high quality, but I wanted to get it out because people wanted it, and then they eventually released the super high quality, and it's like, now I need to like kind of recap it, and people are asking, and I'm like, oh man, I already capped it once. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
But I get it. Like they want the better lighting, the better quality, and I get it. I'll eventually get there. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I am... Sorry, I'm stuck in this Battle at Big Rock section. You know what? The vault is really sucking me in.
Oh,
You
good.
guys have done it.
I'm really
There's some
glad.
seriously old vintage pictures here. Retro, like the cast of Jurassic Park at the ride opening.
Yes. Oh, I have so many more. I have a whole ride section that I haven't released yet, but I have it pretty much almost set to go. But it's here's another thing with me. I was going to have one folder for the Jurassic Park ride. One folder. And then all of a sudden, it's turned into multiple concept arts, multiple land concept arts, animatronic behind the scenes. So it turned into this huge reorganization folder album system of the ride. So I kind of organized that. So I do want to release that, but I do have a lot of cool things for the ride. And then I have an entire event section I haven't released yet, which has more cast at the ride and all kinds of things. So there's more to come there. For sure. More to come there.
That's what I like to hear. Like Lost World premiere as well.
Yeah.
With...
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I have that. I don't know if I don't remember what I uploaded, but I have that too. I have a lot of events, a lot of special events not just premieres, just like events that the cast did back in the day and just charity things. And I just got to get them up.
Yeah, the behind the
Yeah,
scenes.
it's a long process.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes of The Lost World is actually one of my favorite ones we've done so far. Did you see the one where they have the full cast at the Jurassic Park San Diego gates?
Yeah.
Did you see that? I've never seen that before.
No, that's what I mean. There was a lot in the Lost World behind the scenes I really thought I would have seen.
Yeah.
I keep going through it and I see more, and even just shots of the cars in
Yeah.
the locations they were filming in and stuff.
It's there's a lot of new ones I never saw.
I'm so glad you guys like that. Because, again, I see it and I don't know. I don't know what's new, what's not, what's special, what's common. So it's really, really exciting that you pick out these things and that you see them and that you're like, oh, that's new. That's exactly what I wanted to accomplish with this. So that's really, really good to hear.
I think you've pleased a lot of fans there
Oh,
for sure.
I'm so glad to hear that. That really makes me happy because it is a lot of work and you just don't know. You don't know what people want. You don't know what's new, and to put it all out there and then people to respond is really, really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So Camp Cretaceous, guys, what are you thinking there? What's going to happen there?
Well, if it ever gets released at this point, because you just don't know, but I don't know. I mean, it's exciting in a sense that you get to see. It's like the live tour in the sense that it's as the movie's going, and then it turns the camera over there, and you're like, well, this is what's happening over here. And I know that's something people always wanted to see. I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing that's happening, and I guess people will like it. But I don't know. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's not encouraged. No one bought that. Okay, nobody bought that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
a
don't know.
thing,
It's a
right?
thing,
It's a thing that's happening, and that's great.
Yeah, I'll see it when it comes out.
Yeah,
and-
we'll see it. Well, hopefully it blows our minds, but I don't know. It's a thing.
The animation style looked good from what we saw of the raptor in the jungle. It looked better than I thought it might.
That was really good.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I guess at this point, almost at the third movie now, or the sixth movie, should I say? I kind of thought we'd have more of a mini series, like a HBO something, or something a little darker, you know.
Mm-hmm.
By this point, it seems like a lot of the content is still geared towards the younger audience, which is fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, because you do have the Lego show on Nickelodeon, which I watched a couple of early on, and it is funny and cute, and we even talked about maybe going back and watching some, because it is funny and cute. But yeah, it is towards kids, and this is towards kids, and I guess we had Battle of Big Rock, which was a more on pace with the films, but I don't know. Yeah, I would like something like you mentioned as well.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Like that. Do you remember that VR ride that we rode in?
Oh my gosh,
That was so
amazing.
fun. That was so fun.
That
Yeah.
blew my
Something
mind.
like that, you know, something that was dark as well. That was like a dark return.
That
to
was.
Nublar.
Yeah.
That was so cool. Yeah, I
And
guess.
the detail and all of it. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah,
which does give me hopes for the show for sure. You know, if they can achieve that level of quality there for a VR game that not everybody's going to get the chance to experience for a Netflix show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they clearly are capable. They're just, it's a matter of do they want to or not.
Right, it's true. It's just a shame. I guess at this point, it's a shame they haven't dropped it now. If it was ready, because now is the perfect time for people to binge something like this.
You know what?
And build up the hype.
They probably would have if it was ready. That's the key words. It might not be.
Yeah, it really does make you wonder how far along in development it was, or because we really didn't know. Other than the teaser trailer, we've got no idea, right?
Yeah, you know what though? What's good? It might be so far along that it can't be canceled, because like a lot of things are getting canceled, pushed back, delayed indefinitely. So we might actually dodge that bullet by it might be so far along that it's not out yet, but it's not canceled. So it's in limbo.
For sure. Dude, a cancellation would be so typical for the Jurassic franchise, right? All the cancelled video games we've had, all the various iterations of Jurassic Park 4 that once were. We're just so used to it at this point.
Yeah, I know Josh even, he's like, when we were talking about Maisie getting older and stuff, Josh is like, I just fear for Sam Neill's safety. He's like, I just want him to be okay and alive and make it for them to film, because you know things are just, that's what Jurassic Park fans are used to, things getting cut, canceled, changed, and scripts rewritten. And Josh is like, oh my gosh, just film Sam Neill. That's all I want.
Make sure to get him in.
Yeah.
Get him in.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think they will tackle him and Ellie's relationship? Do you think there'll be something that will even, be a subject?
I think they're just gonna blow over that.
I
don't know
though.
if they'll mention that at all.
I want it. I want them to fix it. I want them to fix Jurassic 3. I really do. I think that's something that the world wants. And by the world, I mean me. So, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Please.
No, but it would be good. Some little, even if it's just a look like they give each other at the end of Jurassic Park, just that look.
Just something.
And just something. Yeah, that would be nice.
It would be nice. I'm in that boat. I know a lot of people are like, relationship stuff is such a waste in Jurassic movies, and I'm with that in a sense, but you gotta have something like that here and there. So
humans are humans after all. Yeah, I just think like the way it was done in Jurassic Park made sense because they had this kind of romantic relationship, but as soon as the threat of being killed by a dinosaur happens, that's kind of it's all off, let's just survive at this point.
But you know what? That establishes, it makes you really care about the characters because, they have a bond and then you kind of get bonded and you care what happens to the other one when, whenever Ellie's eating the ice cream, which is, my favorite thing of all time, the flea circus scene. But when she's eating the ice cream, she's they're out there and he's out there. You just have that connection that you need and you wouldn't have had that if they weren't, together, I guess. So, that's important.
It's weird. The Jurassic Park 3, it was Joe Johnston's decision, I think, to have them separated, to have her in a new relationship. And I kind of understand why he did it. I kind of understand the thinking behind it and the reason. It's the same sort of thing you can apply to why Malcolm's character was so different in The Lost World. You got to think, well, put yourself in that scenario where somebody's actually bred an island full of dinosaurs, but you're being paid not to tell people what happened. It would screw you up a little bit. And it makes me think, their relationship may have just suffered because of that, but they've remained friends after all these years. It kind of made sense. As much as I didn't like it, if that also makes sense, I get it.
Jack, this is when we disagree, beyond strongly. So I get it. I get it with Malcolm. I do, because that's his character, and it makes sense. That exactly as you explained. It pulls you apart. It isolates you, sure. But with them, I just feel the way that their characters are and the kind of people that they are, it would have done the opposite. They would have relied more on each other and just bonded more together on it and kind of stuck together more. And I do think in Jurassic 3, not much would have changed at all if they were together instead. Because she still would have said, I'm not going. You go. I'll stay here. Take care of the kids. It's fine. And then she still would have sent in the help that he needed.
The Army and the Navy.
It would have been... throw in the Marines. I mean, it would have been the same thing. It would have been the same exact story. It wouldn't have changed the story. It just would have... not had that unnecessary breakup, I think, in my opinion. But it wouldn't have changed anything else.
That's a fair point. Yeah. That's a fair point. It would have played out the same way, except the kid probably would have been his.
Totally fine. I mean, it's not like she would have been, I'm going to go with you or whatever. She's still strong-willed against not going. So she would, and I feel like she would trust him enough to make his own decision and respect his decision enough and everything. So it wouldn't have changed anything in the film, I don't think.
Yeah. So you're not the biggest Jurassic 3 fan, Jen? Oh,
I like Jurassic 3. I do. I do for sure. It was the first one that I owned. It's the first one I saw in theaters. And what year was that? 2001? So
2001.
I was 11 then, 10 or 11-ish. Maybe more 11.
Yeah, I think we were about the same age. I think, it was the first one I saw in cinemas too.
Yeah, and I remember getting it for Christmas. And it was my first... I always loved Jurassic beforehand, absolutely in every way. I had all the stuff, but that was the one that I was of age to really appreciate. And no, I love Jurassic 3. I know everyone knows I'm not a fan of The Lost World, but I love Jurassic 3. It's one of those rewatchable movies that you could just put on and it makes you feel good because it's a Jurassic film on the background kind of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of how I view it. It doesn't expand the franchise in any way. It doesn't do the same things, The Lost World did to Jurassic, but it's fun, and it feels perfectly Jurassic for me. It's got that action adventure. Joe Johnston brings that kind of family fun into it,
and it's not too long. And I know that's a complaint for a lot of people that it's really short, but it's good to have a short, quick, fun one just to have and in the series.
90 minutes of JP.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's what it feels like. No, you're right. I think runtime's an interesting one though, because I think people claiming they want like I'd take a 3-hour Jurassic, and so would I. But I think running times in movies more about if it really affects the story, if it really works with the story. I've seen 3-hour movies that I loved, and then I've seen some that I'm like, this could be an hour and a half shorter. Mm-hmm. So I worry that they might just pile it on and extend it. How long was Fallen Kingdom? What was the runtime of that?
208.
No.
Was it 208? I
Was
don't
it?
know why I think 208. Maybe
Might be.
Jurassic World was 208. But he's looking it up. But while he's looking it up, I'm gonna go on your point of, yes, I could be the good fan and say, yeah, I want content over like longevity, long time of runtime. But yeah, I'm gonna sit here and straight up say I would love to watch a Dominion that lasts 3.5 days. Totally fine.
2 hours.
3.5 days.
Like, it's fine. Like, I'm not even going to pretend to be that fan to say, yeah, I want quality over time. No, I'm going to do I'll sit there for 3.5 days, get a diaper, and not leave. I'm totally fine with it.
You'll take the 3-day Jurassic. That's fair.
Yeah. So how long was it?
I think everyone would at some point in time, right? When I was young, I would have taken a 3-hour Jurassic movie. It's all I wanted. Just to sit there and live in it for 3 hours. Or 3 days in your case.
Those lucky Harry Potter fans get part 1 and part 2, so I would take that. But although he looked up, the Fallen Kingdom
2 hours and 10 minutes.
2 hours and 10 minutes. I was 2 minutes off.
And it still feels quick, that movie.
1 minute longer than The Lost World.
Oh. You know why it feels quick? Because it's kind of 2 movies. It's kind of split into 2. So by the time you get to the second half, it kind of flies by as a single movie almost. So it's probably that's probably why it feels quick. Yeah,
for sure. And I do worry about that for Jurassic 3. I worry how it's going to handle multiple locations and without feeling like the latest Jason Bourne movie that just kept changing location every 5 minutes. It just felt too rapid. I don't know how they're going to handle it. I wonder if it will start off in a varied location, showing you the world and showing you how these dinosaurs have had the impact, and then it'll really isolate itself to a cave system or something. Hey, that would be cool.
See, that's why
underground caves, tunnels.
That's why I wanted 3 days, because they got a lot to do, a lot of locations, a lot of things happening. So 3-day film, totally fine. I would sit there.
Yeah. What are your hopes for it then? Where do you really see it going? What do you want Jurassic World Dominion to do? Because it's supposed to be the closure, right? This is the 6th movie, it ends this trilogy. It needs to be impactful.
Yes, that is a great question, and I've thought about that a lot. And I think my thing to make it impactful would be to, like I said before, kill somebody significant. and I know we've always talked about Owen and Blue having like a dog ownership relationship, and usually when the owner dies, it's heartbreaking when the dog like cries for his owner. So that would be impactful if something happened to Owen when Blue was there. So that a Grant thing, something so devastating that when you go to put the film in, you feel like emotional trauma. And it just like that, just something, because we've discussed this, how Jurassic 3 is so lighthearted and fun, and Lost World is darker, and Jurassic World is very bright, and Fallen Kingdom is not bright in that sense. And it's just that kind of emotion that when you look at the cover, you just feel something. And I think for this film to be the 3rd one in this franchise here, the set, and then to be the 6th overall, and to bring back the originals, you just want something that hurts you. And even with the T-Rex, like you want the T-Rex to die. I think of natural causes would be great, but something like that, you just want.
Sure.
You just want.
It's like an end,
soul.
right? It's a bookend almost.
But in the best way, like in the most heartbreakingly beautiful way, though. You don't want them to play it safe. So that's what I want to get. I want to get emotional trauma out of this film, and also a really great callback to like Claire's story and to what, because Fallen Kingdom was so extremely different to Jurassic World, and then we have the evolution of Claire, which is an even split between the two, and you kind of see the transition. So I want just a more balanced character, kind of to maybe revisit who she was, because she changed so much in Fallen Kingdom. So maybe just a nice balance there. So a nice closure and balance there, and just emotional trauma is what I want. What do you want, Josh?
Well, I don't know if I want everyone to die.
Yeah. Not too sure about the emotional trauma, but
but a good, I don't know, just a good tying of the original films to the new films, and I just kind of want a good closure. I guess they probably won't completely close everything, because I'm sure down the road they'll want to probably do another one or do something to extend that franchise. But
For sure, yeah.
but just something that really ties the original films to the new films, and just I don't know. I want to feel good.
He wants to feel good, and I want PTSD from this experience.
Yeah, that's.
I don't want everyone to die.
I want to feel pain in the best way. I want emotion. I want trauma. That's
I
what
totally
want.
get what you're saying, though. I totally get what you're
Yeah.
saying. It's like that. You had that. I think a lot of fans, if not most fans, if not all fans, when Jurassic World came out, I have my opinion on it now. But when Ty Simpkins, when he runs through the hotel and he says the line, "I don't want to wait anymore," and he opens the blinds. For me, like, I got a rush of emotion. I got a tear in my eye. I was like, that's me. That's the fan. I don't want to wait anymore. I need to see this movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it has that emotional response. And I feel like I personally didn't get that in Fallen Kingdom. I didn't get any sort of, something that really made me emotional or really made me care. I kind of get what you're saying. It's something like that in Jurassic 3 to really hook you in.
I guess the closest in Fallen Kingdom was that opening scene, because you kind of got a little adrenaline happening and you kind of got invested in it in that way, but then it just never goes from there. It just stops and it's pretty safe. And I don't want another safe movie.
No, I'd like it to the kind of movie where you feel like no one is safe.
Yeah, exactly.
Not Owen, not Claire. I'm curious as to what's going to happen with Maisie. Did you guys read the leaked synopsis?
Yeah,
I did,
yeah.
yes.
That's not what I want in a film, so I don't know. I mean, it's very simple, obviously, but oh man, that's not where I wanted to go. But we'll see.
Yeah. It was pretty much a one-line synopsis, so I imagine there's way more to it. I did wonder, is it, who knows?
Like, even, I get if it's just one line and one small piece of the entire film, but even having that in the film at all, it doesn't excite me. Even if it's like one scene, I'm just like, that doesn't need to be happening. That does not need to be in my film, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? I was wondering if it would open on a scene on the island or on Sauna or something like that. I was wondering how they're going to open this film. I mean, most likely in the world, because why would they go back to the islands now? Mm-hmm. But do you think they're going to answer anything? Do you think we'll see a particular part of Isla Nublar again, or do you think we'll see Sauna? Do you think they'll answer that?
I think so. I kind of have. I think they'll have some sort of flashback. I think they'll mention Sorna, but maybe some sort of flashback to the Nublar. I'm not sure exactly what they'll do, but I think they have to include the island somehow.
Something me and Brad always joked about was whenever you look at the screen caps or the video of the lava, it's dangerous. Like, it's a lot of lava, but it doesn't go over the entire island. Like, there's a lot of island that's fine. So everyone's like, oh, the island's gone. I'm like, no, maybe 10% is gone. Like, it looks okay for the most part. Like, there's places for the dinosaurs to run to if they need to, and they're all out anyway. So I don't think it's all destroyed. It can't be from what we saw. I don't know.
No, definitely not. Unless there were further, eruptions and things like that just kind of destroyed the island. But it did seem like it was, maybe affecting maybe up to a quarter of the island, maybe.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't personally feel like they need to go back there now. But it's Isla Sorna, I think, for a lot of people is something that they want answered. Because in Fallen Kingdom, it was more of a case of, why couldn't they just take the dinosaurs there? Move them to the other island. That's what I always wondered.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was weirdly unanswered. So, I do think the demand for certain things, like we always talk about like fan approval and pleasing fans and fan service. And I know I'm all for fan service. I'm a lover of fan service. Some people hate it, but I enjoy fan service. So if they bring that Sorna in just for fan service, I'm fine. And the Dilophosaurus, I'm fine. So it's just a matter of will they listen to fan service, because that's something I know a lot of people want, both of those things, and I'd be totally fine with it. It's
a really tough thing to balance, isn't it? The fan service, because you can do it like in Fallen Kingdom, where they show you the Explorer, and that's now Blue's Nest, and that's a cool piece of fan service. But I think, like, when you compare it to the storyboards and then the original scene where that Jeep lied, it kind of ruined it for me as fan service, because it didn't look right.
Oh, that's
it didn't look. The Jeep wasn't the same way around. But I think the same in Jurassic World. You see the visitor center, and that's somewhere I've wanted to go since I first saw the movie. I wanted to go back and see what it's like after all these years, and it just kind of played out the way I didn't expect it to. It was hard to kind of tell immediately that it was the visitor center. I think.
Well,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to just say, I get that. I do love that, but you know what they should have done, which we talked about before, is that when they were trying to escape the island from Fallen Kingdom, if they would have had to run through other parts of the park that we didn't get to see, or saw the island like going over with the lava and other parts of Jurassic World even, or even down Main Street more, or I know we even talked about having the control bunker thing whenever Claire had to do her hand thing in the bunker. Why didn't they just go to the old control room? That would have been a really good reason to explore old parts of Jurassic World in that moment. Like, they didn't need the bunker. They could have just went to the old control room. So those choices kind of don't make sense to me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's a little weird. Seeing those bunkers is pretty cool. I got to see them before Fallen Kingdom came out because I was lucky enough to be in Hawaii, and it was very exciting trying to think of what they would be used for, and it was a pretty cool result in the end. The tunnels and the baryonyx, pretty cool.
Yeah, like we did that. We saw that because we went to Hawaii for our honeymoon, and so we got to go to the bunkers after the fact, and all that stuff after the fact, which was really cool because I imagine, going before, you're like, oh, what would they be used for? And then after, being like, oh, well, this is how they incorporated it, Yeah,
kind of playing it out at different angles and stuff. It's really cool to see.
It's cool to see, like, the whole picture, because I know the hill and everything that they run down, and then the bunker there, and, like, just the whole thing, to see it all in perspective instead of just what the camera shows you is kind of neat.
Was that your first time on the ranch, Jen?
Yeah, that was my first time in Hawaii ever, so that was...
Oh, wow.
That was...
Because I know Josh has been a few times, right?
Yeah, I've been to Hawaii a few times. That was my second time to the ranch. Oh, yeah.
What an amazing and perfect place, right, for any Jurassic
it's amazing.
fan.
Yeah, I mean, it was so cool to do it as a first time, because I guess even if I were to go back... I don't know, seeing it all for the first time and doing the tour and just going all around the whole island and seeing all the different areas. So we went to the dock as well, where they did the dock scene and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And we just kind of went everywhere and to see all those things. And it was what, a year after they filmed? So it wasn't like super old or outgrown too bad. So they still had some stuff around. So it was really neat to see everything like in real life.
Yeah, we were on the ranch for a full day, and it just didn't feel like enough. Right. We didn't want to leave.
Yeah, I felt like that too. We were trying to recreate some of the shots as well from the first Jurassic with Grant on the hill, and you could just sit there for hours and just look and listen as well. It's just such a glorious place. I assume you spent time in the Indominus Rex paddock?
Yeah, we were there.
So fun, so cool. Oh my gosh. And then when you're on the tour thing, they play the little videos, before you get there, and it's like the scene. I was like crying. It was wonderful. And what's fun is on our tour, I don't know how this happened. I probably pushed ahead of people, but I somehow got on the stairs first. So when we all walked up, somehow I was in the lead. So I got to open the door, like the door that Claire opened. I kind of got to do that. So I got to be the first one in the rooms. I don't know how that happened. I probably subconsciously knocked some people down, but I was doing that. And then Josh got like pictures of me walking up the steps and stuff because he was behind me. But that was one of my favorite parts. Absolutely.
And of course,
it truly is a beautiful place there, and I'm so glad as well that they kept the Indominus Rex paddock, because it was pretty much, well, it's a film set, so it was built not to last, and they pretty much repatched the whole thing. They pretty much redid the structure of it.
Yeah. They were saying they were rebuilding it, but in a way that makes me kind of sad because it's not like the original.
It's not the same,
but it's still good.
It's still good to see it, and experience that. We can't really do that for many of the other films in the series. It's pretty much it's just pretty much Jurassic World, right? Got the IREX paddock. And
that's what they left up.
Yeah. Everything from the previous Jurassics is now eroded beyond belief.
We also got to do where Owen's bungalow was, like where the tree and everything. So we tried to recreate, like get exactly the picture of exactly where the tree is and like where the lake is and all of that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
You have to do that.
Yeah, that's down by. They'd filmed a couple of movies down there, right?
Yeah,
That's a
there's a
little
couple.
offshoot on the ranch.
Yeah.
It's not too far. Yeah.
I really love that place. Really, really love that place. Which tour did you do? Did you do the VIP?
We did the premiere movie tour.
We did 2 tours.
And we did an ATV or UTV, I think it was.
Is that like the one with the 4 seats that you sit in?
That was.
Yeah, I
have
think
4
we did that. We only had 2 seats, I think. Or maybe
We were
I
gonna
don't
do an
know.
ATV, and then I think they canceled those, and then it was a UTV. So I think it was a
Right.
2-seater.
Yeah, it was. They changed the vehicle on us, so I think it was just 2. But we did both. Yeah, we did both of those, and then we kind of did our own touring afterwards. So we saw what was on the tour, and then we kind of went off on our own with some folks and saw other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way to. That's what we did. You kind of have to. It's like, but I'm in Jurassic Park now, so I'm gonna walk around. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I mean, there's so
Just
much.
spend some serious time.
There's legit so much not on the tour as well. So
That's how we got to see with
yeah, because
the bunker. or
the
underground
baryonics
bunker.
thing, yeah, they don't, and the lava stuff up there and the hill that they run down, because that wasn't on the tour, because I guess it's dangerous or whatever, because it's up on a hill, so you have to
ran down
climb
the hill.
Yeah, he ran down the hill. And I mean, I'm not athletic, I don't move, I don't budge from my couch, but yeah, when I got out of the cart to go up that, I ran so fast to that like little I don't know what's called, like a landing where Claire comes out of the baryonics hole, because that was up there. I never ran up a hill so fast to get there. That's what I wanted to see so bad from the beginning, and that's not on the tour. So to have the chance to go up there, I was like, that's what I wanted to see, and that was the best thing. That was a highlight for sure. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Just looking up, when you're in the valley, right, and you look up and you look down, and you just see the ocean. Just the whole thing is just so gorgeous.
It is.
It's the perfect place.
I know. And then you could see where they put in the volcano at and the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And then we went to that cove as well where they did the water sand stuff. Yeah, for Fallen. We did that. That was a really big challenge to get down there. You have to like climb this rock mountain or whatever. It was because we were like at the lookout, and you could see it from the lookout, but you can't get there remotely even close from the lookout. And so we're like, how the heck do people get down there? And we were kind of gazing around the corner, and then there's like this giant climbing rock wall. We're like, oh my goodness,
and it was raining
we're gonna die. Like, we're not gonna get there. But yeah, we were like, all right, come on, once in a lifetime, we got to do it. So we slowly went down that giant thing, because I guess they all had to go down the rocks to get there too. There's no easy way to get there at all by any means.
No, I remember from what Real News was saying, I think they must have brought people in by boat. Maybe Bryce and Chris brought them in on a boat. But yeah, crew and stuff makes you think how they would have got everything down.
Uh-oh.
And that's our cue.
He's getting fuzzy.
Oh, right. Well, guys, it's been an hour. It's been lovely to speak with you both. And seriously, everybody should check out, well, firstly, the Bryce Dallas Howard Network, and then JurassicVault.com. I've spent a long time just scrolling through these behind-the-scenes images. So thank you again for that.
Thank you.
Any final thoughts, guys?
I guess just stay safe out there, and just keep Jurassic, right? Is that the hashtag? Stay safe, stay Jurassic. I guess that's
the
what
one.
It is.
And Lost World caps aren't too far away.
Oh yeah, keep an eye out. Lost World caps are coming. Probably not next. Lost World posters. Lost World posters are next. Lost World posters and artwork are next.
And then screencaps probably in the next couple weeks.
Awesome.
Hopefully. Screen caps, and then theme park stuff. So that's in the pipeline for the vault. So yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
And for supporting the vault, and for encouraging others to check out the vault. That means a lot.
No, of course. I don't know why anybody else wouldn't want to. Guys, honestly, get to it. Seat to Wyatt. It's been lovely to speak to you both, and I hope when things clear up this year, hopefully we can meet again.
Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait to see you again, and thanks so much.
Thank you.
Farewell, guys, and thank you for listening to the InGeneral podcast.